The views and opinions expressed on all radio shows broadcast on KYOK are entirely those of the host, guests, and callers who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
When you walk out on that field today, ask yourself this question. What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We made it! We made it! We made it! We made it! I'm going to the house! I'm going to the house! When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Football is getting hit. That's it. It's gonna be football now. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's go. Let's hunt. We made it. I'm going to the house. I'm going to the house. We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this, how like we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up with chin straps. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from them. He's a man. They can be a hit just like us. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. Don't cry when you step on the field, man. That's who I did. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. Your bad don't work in my world. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We made it. I'm going to the house. I'm going to the house. It's a wrap. Game over.
Oh no, game is just getting started right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. It is our Throwback Thursday, and it is also the day that I rep a HBCU. Today is Central State University up in my home state of Ohio, representing Central State, and I'll be giving you information about Central State. And also we'll be talking to Willy Gibson, broadcast journalist from The Ohio State University, covers the Buckeyes, covers the Cleveland Browns, and the Big Ten. So, again, we'll be doing that today. A lot going on in the world. All eyes on the presidential election. David Grubb and I got into that a little bit yesterday at the start of the show. And y'all know me. If you want to talk about that, if you want to get into some of that, we can do it. Hold on, let me get my camera right. There we go. I got it down a little bit. If you want to get into some of that, we can talk about it. You know me. I'm all world, kind of versed in a number of different things. So hit me up, 281-453-1000, 281-453-1000. And of course, if you want to talk about the world of sports, we got football tonight. It, I guess, is a good one. San Francisco at Green Bay. Don't know how healthy or prepared San Francisco is going to be. 3 players added to the COVID list had to close their facility, and they were already going to be without George Kittle and Jimmy Garoppolo. So don't know how good of a game that's going to be. That's why I told David yesterday, I expect this one to be off Green Bay Packers, especially with them coming off of a loss. So, again, that's tonight, 7:20 on Fox. And then over the weekend, you got the Texans visiting Jacksonville. That'll be Sunday at noon. Dallas will host Pittsburgh Sunday at 3:25. And then Sunday Night Football, you got New Orleans versus Tom Brady and Tampa Bay. Kicks off at 7:20 on NBC. Michael Thomas back for the Who Dat talk about beating those Saints. And, of course, it is Antonio Brown making his debut for the season. So we'll see how all that works out on Sunday night. Got some questions about the Houston Texans. What's up, T. Barnes? What's up, CJ? What's up, Keith Hennick? What are the Texans doing? What are the Houston? Where are my Texan fans? I need a diehard Texan fan to call me. 281-453-1000. 281-453-1000. If you are a diehard Texan fan, Byron Johnson, Anthony Rogers, Charlotte Jeter. If you are a diehard Texan, I got a question. I got a question. What are they doing? Hit me up. I need to know. I gotta know. I gotta know. 281-453-1000. 281-453-1000. I need to talk to you. Don't text me. Don't put it on social media. Call me. 281-453-1000. I'm just confused. I'm confused. Ferdinand, I know Ferdinand's not a Texan fan, but he's well versed on the Texans. You know, so y'all hit me up. I guess we don't have any Texan fans. But nobody's calling. Nobody's calling. That might be the problem right there. Y'all were killing me when I was going hard on Bill O'Brien, but now he gone. I can't get a call. I'm waiting. You mean to tell me on the legendary KYOK AM 1140 and FM 92.3 and streaming at kyokradio.org, I don't have a Texan fan? Wow. So Bill O'Brien leaves and all the Texan fans left. That's what it is. I think I done found a problem. I think I have found a problem. Your boy might be like somebody else where when they lose, they want to tear it all down. They want to tear it all down. All right, well, I guess I got none. Well, let me do this then. Let me just take a break, and I'll figure it out after that. I'll text a couple of Texan fans that I know. All right, we'll do that next right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. It is Throwback Thursday.
I am a non-attorney spokesperson representing a team of lawyers who've helped people that have been injured or wronged. Have you been diagnosed with cancer? Are you one of the millions who have taken Zantac or other generic versions of this popular drug to help treat stomach issues? Then pay close attention to this message. The FDA said it detected low levels of a probable cancer-causing chemical known as NDMA in Zantac and other generic forms of this popular drug. They've banned sales and even removed it from the market. If you've been diagnosed with cancer and you've taken Zantac or a generic equivalent, call the legal helpline now. You could receive a free cash award and have your medical expenses covered. And there's no upfront cost to you. They only get paid if you win. So please call now. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. That's 800-251-7816.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legend continues.
If you are trying to quit drinking or doing too many drugs, listen to me. You don't know me and we'll never meet. I had a problem like you once. I drank and used to party a little too much till it got out of control and almost ruined my life. I realized I needed help to fix my problem before it totally destroyed me. If you've tried to fix your drinking and drug problem and you know you can't do it alone, you need to call the National Treatment Advisors. They'll immerse you into a 30-day program to replace your old habits with new habits and totally change your life. And if you have PPO private health insurance, the entire program may be covered. Fix your problem right now before it gets any worse. Get clean. Call now and learn more. 800-961-2730. 800-961-2730. That's 800-961-2730. I'm going to tell you how you can get real health insurance for as little as $6 a day. Yes, now you can get affordable health insurance for you and your family immediately, starting at just $6 a day. And coverage is guaranteed regardless of your medical condition. That's right, for about $6 a day, you can have guaranteed health insurance. And there's dental, vision, and prescription coverage too. You owe it to yourself and your family to make this free call right now and learn more.
There are no deductibles, no waiting period, no contracts, and coverage is guaranteed. Call National Health right now for your risk-free guaranteed health insurance quote starting at just $6 a day. Call now.
800-797-0921. 800-797-0921. 800-797-0921. That's 800-797-0921.
Hi, this is TJ from South Park. I listen to the lunch break with AJ Jones on 1140 AM and 92.3 FM.
All right, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. And I got a Texan fan. I have a very good Texan fan, one of my favorite Texan fans in the whole wide world. Hello, who's this?
This is Charlotte.
Hey, Charlotte.
What's up, everybody?
Charlotte, I think you have got to be one of the most awesome, dynamic, brilliant, talented, beautiful, anointed, all of that Texan fans in the whole wide world.
I probably am.
Yeah. Well, now, mind you, they don't have many, but you are definitely all of that on top of all of the ones they have.
Don't play. Hey, don't play.
You know what I mean? Did you see how I messed it up? I was rolling, and just like a dude, I messed it up, just like that.
You messed it up. But let me tell you, they may not be as loyal and with all those gifts that I have.
Yeah.
They are.
But you would be the top in any fan group. I mean, in any fan group, because you put.
I'm either 100 or 0.
Right. It's. I'm telling you, you wouldn't be second to any, second to none. Charlotte, I got a question.
Why do I feel like this is like a setup? Go for it.
Why did the Texans sign Josh McCown?
I don't know. Why did we get rid of D-Hop? Why did we get rid of
And you know what? I was coming in the building, and a lady had on a number 10 D-Hop jersey, and it was nice, too. You can tell she didn't get it at no swap
I
meet.
have one. I still have one. I still like him.
Baby, I held both doors for her. I opened one and propped it open, and I jumped over there and held the other one. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Go after you.
Because you know she's struggling. She's struggling.
But I just don't understand that. I think I might know why. So Josh McCown, 41 years old. This is his 12th NFL team. He is the journeyman executor of the NFL as far as quarterbacks go. And normally when a team hires or brings in a guy like that doesn't fit your offensive scheme at all. Like imagine if, heaven forbid, Deshaun Watson get hurt. You can't run the same offense with no Josh McCown.
I think it's just to hold a spot. That's it.
Well, here's what I think. They had to close the facility earlier today due to COVID-19.
Are you thinking that McCarron is sick?
I wonder if A.J. McCarron was out there in that Rona.
Just having fun. Because I know D-Watt, he's not doing all of that. He's like focused.
Babe, I think they got a Corona GPS on D-Hop. Like if he goes anywhere near Rona, that thing starts beeping, and they shock him, and he get away from that Rona. But A.J. McCarron might have gotten, I'm not saying infected, but maybe exposed.
Well, maybe, but he's only with the practice squad, so.
No, A.J. McCarron is the true backup. Now,
not A.J. McCarron. I'm talking about McCown. He's with the practice squad.
Yeah, but you don't bring in a 41-year-old quarterback that does not fit your system just to be on your practice squad. I'm being sports messy right now. I'm trying to be the sports version of, I don't want to say TMZ, but you know what I mean.
I mean, and who made the decision? Was it Cal or was?
Well, now that's the other thing I wanted to talk about. I bet you that Jack Easterby stuff. That dude right there, when they got rid of Billy O, you gotta go, they should have said, Jack, you already know.
I don't understand how he's still there. I don't understand why they kept him. I do think they're going to replace him, but why didn't you let him go at the same time you let Billy Boy go?
That's the inquiring minds want to know, and that's why I wanted to talk to a Texan fan, because it makes little to no sense.
Okay, so I'm trying to look at some stats on McCown. When's the last time he played?
He's 41. When's the last time he should have been playing?
He's like, a senior citizen in football right now. Maybe they think he's more like a Drew Brees,
Wait now. Wait now. Just like you tell me to put some respect on your Texan fans, on your Texans.
You know what? You're suffering identity crisis when it comes to your team. You don't know if you want to roll with Ohio or New Orleans.
There is no rule that says you have to have one team. I lived in both cities.
Well, if you're a loyal fan, you will, but
I trust me, I'm loyal. I've been rocking with the Bengals forever, and they have had some years worse than the Texans. And I was rocking with the Saints when they were putting bags over their heads, so I'm loyal.
Okay, but you loyal to all three teams, both Ohio teams and the Saints.
No, whoa, hold on. Did you say I was loyal to both Ohio teams?
Okay, which one are you choosing today?
No, ain't no choosing nothing. I am a true Cincinnati Bengal fan. I barely even say the name of the team up there in Northern Ohio.
Well, you should start saying it. They're killing it.
I ain't giving them nothing. I don't care if they win them all. I'm gonna swear they lost them all. Don't get it twisted now. I just try to be nice because of Willy Gibson. He comes on my show, so I gotta at least make him feel welcome.
Or pretend.
You know the deal.
Okay, so I don't get this pickup, but I'm thinking maybe like we're both saying, maybe AJ got out there, flouncing around Houston, and they might just drop him. I don't know, man.
He from Bama. He played at Bama, so they don't abide by the rules down there with them Crimson Tide. Who knows what? I ain't trying to talk about him, but who knows what he was out there doing? I bet that boy done either come in contact with somebody that got the Rona, or
AJ might feel like, hey, I ain't hit the field yet. As long as I've been on the team, I think he might have been one down, like when they were just gonna knee it last year.
Wait a minute. You think AJ McCarron is complaining because he can't see? Does he know who's in front of him?
Clearly, he's a Crimson Tide. Remember, doesn't matter to him.
Yeah, I guess you might be right now. You might be on to something with that one.
Like I'm not gonna hit the field anyway, so I can go out here and do what I want to do. I hope not, because that will be putting the whole squad and their families and everybody they come into contact with in jeopardy. So I hope he's not that stupid. I hope maybe this is just another dumb decision rather than him being infected or something. I hope it's just another dumb decision.
You know what? I think I might be with you on that. I hope it's just another dumb Jack Easterby decision, and that it's not that one of the quarterbacks, especially but one of the backup quarterbacks, could have been exposed to corona. But it just doesn't make sense. You didn't need a quarterback. You didn't do anything.
Yeah, you didn't need one.
And he does not fit your system. You cannot run the same system with him that you would run with a Deshaun Watson.
And the other thing is, can Cal let me come and play with his money like this?
Okay, at the end of the day. At the end of the day.
You paying this dude $12,000 a week. Can I just come and play with your money?
Man.
I got people I can hook up to. Because it seems like y'all just trying to hook up y'all people. Let me just hook up some people.
You're preaching, Reverend.
Collection plate.
Yeah. Is there one?
You just have to have a collection plate, no pun intended.
Well, let me just say this. You so funny. Oh my gosh. So if you hear anything deeper than what we speculated on about why they signed, of all people, Josh, I am legitimately 206 years old McNown to back up Deshaun Watson and AJ McCarron heading into a game versus Jacksonville. Like, hey, we can't go down to Jacksonville unless we got Josh McNown. Like, we got to have him.
Yeah, nada. I want to do some research on this, and I'll get back with you before the show is over.
I already know it's gonna be what it is, because you know what?
It's gonna be what I'm breaking the fire.
Baby, if folks don't know that ladies are like the CIA, mess around and not be where you're supposed to be too many times, and let her start digging into your whereabouts. Baby, she'll find stuff you didn't even know you knew.
Look here, and you'll be like, dang, I did go there. I forgot I went there. How she know? Yeah, that's how it goes.
Mess around and run a whole video on what he did for the whole day.
What? Not the whole day, the whole week. We don't come up with just instant results. We good at this. We true to this. We've been doing this. We just need to know when we need to pop up with this evidence.
Oh my goodness! You know what? You just pushed me into singlehood even further. You just pushed me into singlehood even further.
Man, look here. We have built-in intuition for BS like this. Okay.
Charlotte, I can't do right for doing wrong, so I'm gonna just leave it alone.
I'm gonna call you back on the show. Give me a few minutes.
All right, appreciate you, Charlotte. Charlotte Jeter, y'all. Charlotte Jeter. She is Texan fan number one, and I mean, and she is. What's the off books? Not CIA, but like what's the on oh God, Olivia Pope. What's her show? What her dad was over? What group? MI6 or something like that? M13, B12. What's the name of the group from Olivia Pope? The undercover people. That's who Charlotte Jeter could be the head of. Like if she shows up and you didn't know she was coming, you're in trouble. You are in trouble. B13, B12, MI6. I know it's MI6 over in England. I can't think of it. Anyway, I don't have to take a break. Bless him. That one makes no sense to me. And I promise you, I'm not trying to make this a racial thing. But we often hear when it's a quarterback like Colin Kaepernick, Robert Griffin III, before he finally got a job where they, kept him more than a minute. Vince Young back in the day. Why didn't you guys bring in Colin? Why didn't you work out RG3? Why didn't you work out Vince? Well, he doesn't fit our system. He doesn't fit our system. We'd hear that all the time, to the point where I started saying, no, he ain't going there. He doesn't fit their system. But you bring in 206 years old Josh McCown, who has been with 12 different NFL teams to back up, say it with me, Deshaun Watson. Huh? What? You kidding me? And oh yeah, by the way, Deshaun has to run for his life. And Deshaun runs as fast as, what do you think's going to happen with, heaven forbid, Josh McCown actually has to play? What plays are you running? How are you going to protect him? If Usain Bolt has to run for his life, you think Josh McCown is going to be all right back there? There's something going on. It's no coincidence that the Texans had to close their facilities due to COVID, and now all of a sudden they're bringing in a quarterback that nobody wanted. I'm not saying that somebody hasn't. I'm just saying. Ladies and gentlemen, 65 and over, please don't forget, Senior Citizen Saturday is taking place this coming Saturday. And you can get a free turkey. They're giving away free turkeys from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock at Greater St. Matthew's Baptist Church at 14919 South Main Street and Fondren in Houston. And there's also going to be an outdoor concert featuring Stellar Award nominee Endurance. I love those guys. Claude, Mike. Yeah, I love those guys. But again, if you're 65 and older and you'll be in the Southwest Houston area, or you can get to it, guess what? You can get a free turkey. But if I were you, I'd get in line early. And come on, be blessed. Come on, be blessed. Again, 65 and older. That's good stuff right there. That's good stuff. I'm glad to see that they're still doing the Senior Citizen Saturday in spite of COVID. They've been doing it for what, 11 years? Phenomenal event. Phenomenal event. All right, let me go to my text messages, see what y'all got. Keith Hennick said he's younger than Brady and Breeze. Is he? Josh McDowell? Are we sure? Josh McDowell is like Fernando Valenzuela. He'll be retiring from the league, and we'll find out that he was like 10 years older than he actually was. Keith Hennick says Charlotte's on fire. Dante Culpepper would have been a better choice. You're absolutely right. I mean, seriously, all joking aside, there's no way in the world that you could look at your offense, try to anticipate a security blanket for a potential problem, and say the answer is Josh McDowell. There's no way. There's no, and if you did come up with that as a solution, you ought to leave your keys on the desk and excuse yourself, because that's just crazy. That's like the Cowboys thinking that they could win with a guy by the name of Ben DiNucci. Oh, my bad. Wait a minute. Scratch that last one from the record. Strike that one from the record. Keith Hennick said every Saturday is Senior Citizen Saturday for him. Keith, it's a shame that you didn't get a chance to experience one of the Senior Citizen Saturday concerts. You would have loved it. Man, they had phenomenal people. Dorothy Norwood would come. The Williams brothers would come. Melvin Williams would come. And it's just phenomenal, bro. They'd be in there rocking, doing quartet music, and just phenomenal, man. And you would have loved it. Seeing all the people dressed up and all the senior citizens having a good time, a night out on the town. You would have loved it, man. There's food and all kinds of stuff. Excuse me. So, anyway, I can't wait till Charlotte gets back to me and lets me know what's going on with this Josh McDowell thing, because it makes no sense. It's one of those little, in the middle of the season things that a guy like me will be like, hey, wait a minute, what's that about? Everybody else will be like, oh, they signed Josh McDowell. Why do you sign Josh McDowell? Remember when Black Panther came into the lab, his little sister's lab, and he's walking in, he's Black Power and everybody, he's doing the Wakanda I love you, and he gets into the lab with his sister, and she said, oh yeah, we've got vibranium, and what are those? That's what I look at. That's what I do when I look at the transaction report for the Texans. And I'm like, yeah, this guy injured, that guy out, this guy let go. Josh McDowell. What is that? Like, you don't wake up on a random Thursday and say, hey, yeah, did we pick up Josh McDowell? Oh, wow, Josh McDowell is available. We got to get him. Something's up. Something's up. Something's up. Keith, the next time they do the full-blown Senior Citizen Saturday, I'm sponsoring your trip up. I'm sponsoring your trip up. You're coming up Friday night, hang out, put you in a hotel somewhere, and then you come on over to the church for Senior Citizen Saturday. I'll make sure the folks there know that you're there visiting from San Antonio. We got a radio station in San Antonio too, by the way. KCHL AM 1480. AM 1480 and 92.1. Yeah, KCHL. Gotta have you up. Gotta have you up. Anyway, something up. And again, I don't want anybody to get sick. I'm not wishing that on anybody, but something's up. Yep, something's up. Yeah, something's up. All right. Got some good games this weekend, though. Tonight would be one of them if everybody was full strength. But the 49ers had to put 3 players on the COVID list, and they were going to be without Jimmy Garoppolo and George Kittle. So, it's not going to be what it could have been. And there's some people that think that the 49ers defense is still that good that they can beat the Green Bay Packers without, without their starters. I don't know. Let me look at the 49ers, who they lost to this year. 49ers lost to the Seahawks. Yeah, understandable. They lost to the Dolphins. And they lost to is that this year? Yeah. They lost to the Eagles. I had to pause at that one. They lost to the Eagles at home, Dolphins at home in back-to-back games, and then they lost to the Seahawks at home. I don't know. I don't know. I'll take back whatever folks are saying about that defense. I mean, come on. You mean that defense couldn't handle Ryan Fitzpatrick and Carson Wentz? But some kind of way they're going to handle Aaron Rodgers? I got Green Bay in this thing. Hello, you're live on the lunch break. Who's this?
Hey, Jay, it's Todd.
Hey, Todd. Todd, I got a bunch of questions. I know you're not a Texan fan, but why would they sign Josh McCown?
Man, I haven't been following that. Is somebody out? Somebody hurt or something?
See, that immediately you go that something happened. Something went wrong. It's not like they just said, yo, it's Thursday. Somebody get Josh McCown on the phone. 41 years old, 12th NFL team. The Texans had to close their facility earlier today due to COVID-19.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if somebody like A.J. McCarron might have gotten exposed or came into contact with someone that had COVID.
And they need to close the facility for the trash products they've been putting on.
Todd said they need to just shut the doggone facility down anyway. And this had to be a Jack Esterby move because he's the acting GM. So I'm wondering, did Rack Romeo Crennel go to him and say, yo, Jack, I had a dream last night. What's the dream? That we could win with Josh McCown.
Man, they need to close that bad boy down and turn it into a voting center and get some use out of it.
And Todd, I mean, again, I'm not making it a race thing, but how many times did we hear Colin Kaepernick, RG3 before he finally got with Baltimore, Vince Young back in the day? Oh, well, why didn't you guys bring in Cap? Why didn't you bring in RG3? Why didn't you bring in Vince? Oh, well, he doesn't fit our system.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that the facility closed down, you brought in a quarterback like that.
That doesn't fit your system.
Yeah, it's got to be, it'd be more likely that one of the quarterbacks probably most likely got it if there's not an injury involved.
And God heaven forbid it would be you know who.
Yeah. I mean, if you got to just connect the dots, I mean, it's got to be one of those. They just hadn't maybe reported it yet.
And that's my thing, man. I mean, because with the NFL, legally, they don't say the name unless the player wants them to. And again, if it was the biggest name that we won't say, or A.J. McCarron, then it obviously makes sense. But this one has something to it. There's no way in the world that you could tell me they just wanted another quarterback and they decided to go with, of all people, Josh McCown.
Yeah, I mean, unless they felt like at this time of the year, who else is really out there? You know what I mean?
Well, they had a couple of guys in camp that it would have made more sense to go back and bring back in if they need another arm or somebody to throw during, scout team or something like that. You don't just bring in some random guy that, has he worked with Tim Kelly somewhere else that I don't know anything about?
That's a good point. I don't know. That's a good question.
I mean, I'm back with you, man. If it's just because you just made a bad season worse, because like Charlotte said, just let me come and blow off some of your money. But if it's out of necessity because of what we're thinking, it's a bad season getting worse.
Let me look at these schedule. Dolphins a minute ago. I like what the Dolphins are doing. I don't like that they benched Fitzpatrick yet.
I don't either, and I'm very. I love Tua. I want it to be Tua time when it's supposed to be Tua time, but the way they did it, I thought was a little thrown off.
He's not ready too. Tua's not ready. But I know. So the reason they're playing Tua, you probably all heard this too, is because tell me if I'm wrong. The Dolphins, they have one of the Texans' high picks next year, right?
Yes.
So from what I've heard, because I'm part-time in the media, my sources tell me they want to see what Tua does now, just in case they luck up into maybe a Trevor Lawrence or.
That makes sense. It makes sense, and a lot of folks didn't like it when Arizona did it a couple of years ago, when they got they drafted Murray and got rid of Rosen.
Yeah.
But honestly, as much as we love Tua, if you can get Justin Fields or Trevor Lawrence, you tell Tua, hey, thanks for coming.
Man, we talked about. I'm on the record. Trevor Lawrence to me is another Carson Wentz.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I want nothing to do with him around my team. Nothing against the kid personally. That is another big, statuesque. And I know he moves better than like a Drew Bledsoe or something like that. He is another Carson Wentz. Bad pocket presence, hold on the ball forever, erratic with the throws, careless decisions. No, thank you. Give me Justin Fields. That's who I want.
Yeah.
So basically, they're throwing into it now. Let's see what he can do these next, remainder of the season. And if we get a high pick and we can get Justin Fields, who hasn't had injury history, don't be surprised if they pull the trigger on him and trade Tua.
I would not be surprised, and it would be a good move. It would be a good move. In fact, they're starting to say Justin Fields could be the number one quarterback.
Oh, to me, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
To me, it's a no-brainer. But you'll leave it up to some of these scouts. They'll mess it up.
Yep.
Not go off what they see.
Yep.
On the film on game day, and they'll try to go off like their pro day, or something else. But no, I'm done with the Carson Wentz types. You got to go off of what you see on the film when they play.
Yeah. Todd, hang on right there. Let me do a quick break. I'll be right back with more. It's Throwback Thursday here on the lunch break on the Legendary KYOK.
1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The Legendary KYOK.
You love your dog. Is something bothering him or her and you can't figure out what it is? Maybe they seem slow or lethargic, and maybe they just don't have energy. Wouldn't you like your dog to be living their very best life? PetJoy offers a money-back guarantee on all of its products. If your dog won't eat it or you don't see the results you want, just let us know and we'll make it right. Totally risk-free. What do you have to lose? You can't buy PetJoy multivitamins in a store. The only way you can get them is through this unique radio offer. And if you call right now, learn how to get 2 bottles free with your order. Turn your dog's life around and make him or her a happy camper. Ain't that right, boy? He said call PetJoy right now. 800-296-1459. 800-296-1459. 800-296-1459. That's 800-296-1459.
This is a potter's field. When people can't pay for their funerals, they are buried here. It is a lonely, desolate place, littered with unmarked headstones. No one visits. No one leaves flowers. But it doesn't have to be that way. For as low as $1 a day, you can ensure your family will have the money to pay your funeral expenses. We offer burial insurance plans that pay up to $30,000. Considering the average funeral costs more than $10,000, that's peace of mind for your family. There are no medical exams, your rates won't increase, and your policy cannot be canceled as long as you make your premium payments. Call now to get approved in minutes and ensure your final resting place is more than just a pauper's grave in a potter's field.
800-308-6729. 800-308-6729. 800-308-6729. That's 800-308-6729. Paid for by Final Expense Direct.
I am a non-attorney spokesperson representing a team of lawyers who help people that have been injured or wronged. If you've been involved in a serious car, truck, or motorcycle accident or injured at work, you have rights, and you may be entitled to money for your suffering. Don't accept an offer you get from an insurance company until you talk to a lawyer. And we represent some of the best personal injury lawyers you can find. Tough lawyers that will fight to win your case. And they're so good they stake their reputation on it by only getting paid if you win. So if you've been in a serious car, truck, or motorcycle accident or hurt on the job, find out today for free what kind of compensation you may be entitled to. Call the legal helpline right now.
800-547-4170. 800-547-4170. 800-547-4170. That's 800-547-4170.
Hi, this is Sonia from Southeast Houston, and you're listening to The Lunch Break on 92.3 and KYOK.
All right, y'all, back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. Let me go back to Todd. Todd, I mean, again, I think you are onto something with the whole, let's see what Tua can do now, because if Justin Fields is there when we have a pick, that's our quarterback.
Yeah, no, if they can get Justin Fields, yeah, they're going to move on from Tua.
Now, what will hurt them is if Fields becomes a number one pick, because they're not going to have that unless they trade into it.
I mean, the Texans are 1-6 right now, right?
Yep.
So the Dolphins Texans pick, right?
Yep.
So let's say the Texans didn't win another game and they go 1-15, and somehow the Jets win 2 or 3 games. Wouldn't they get the number one?
Yeah. Now that would be the scenario. That would be, and again, that's what I'm thinking. The Texans would have to finish behind the Jets and ahead of who else is down there? Washington.
Yeah. I mean, it's an interesting dynamic if it ends up playing out like that. I mean, but, then you trade to it when he's still got some value.
Yeah, the Jets 0-8, Giants 1-7, Jacksonville 1-6, Texans 1-6. So there's your race for the number one pick. And if I'm Jacksonville, I'm trying to get it because Gardner Minshew ain't it.
Yeah.
Oh, and Doug Marone's got to go.
Yeah, no, that's going to be an interesting dynamic. But no, if that happens, you're going to see the same thing in the Cardinals. And the Cardinals made the right decision. With that rookie cap, with the quarterbacks not getting the money, that they were back in the day, the rookie quarterbacks, it makes it easier to do. But I don't know. I just, for a guy like Flores trying to build that team, I think they got a legitimate shot to make the playoffs this year. I wish they would have stayed with Fitzpatrick, but I understand the sentiment. You need to see what Tua could do. But I think as the season goes on, if they have a real chance to make the playoffs and Tua's not really getting it done, I think they'll go back to Fitzpatrick.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see. I want to see Tua play and see him have a couple of games under his belt so we can see what they got as well.
Man, I've been so tell me, what are the Cowboys? Are they going with Cooper Rush or are they going with Garrett Gilbert?
I don't know. In fact, I thought they were going to start Benny D.
I think they moved on from D.
You sure?
I mean, the thing I've been reading today said they're trying to kick it back and forth, Cooper Rush or Garrett Gilbert. I'm hearing Garrett Gilbert.
Yeah, I knew they had to get Gilbert up to speed, but if I'm not mistaken, they're going with your boy.
No, that's not going to work. But AJ, if they do that, that makes me think the Cowboys are in tank mode as well.
Hang on, I'm pulling up Dallas Cowboys news. Yeah, but Jerry came out and said they're not tanking. Jerry came out and said that they're not tanking.
Hey, man, I don't know if I buy that.
Jerry Jones wouldn't lie, right?
I mean, when you look at some of the quarterback moves, that they're doing, man, it'd be hard for me to believe that.
Jerry Jones wouldn't lie, right?
Man, Jerry want that top pick. You don't want to pay Dak.
I think Jerry knows he's got to pay Dak.
You think so?
Yeah.
I mean, if you look into Justin Fields, he can be he said he grew up a Buckeyes fan. He said he can't pass on him.
Oh, wow. Okay, you're right. Mike McCarthy confirmed that the coaching staff will decide between the two veterans of Cooper Rush and Garrett Gilbert in place of rookie Ben DiNucci, who started for the injured Andy Dalton last Saturday versus the Eagles.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think that's a real thing.
Yeah, McCarthy said with the opponent that we're facing, we need more experience at that position. And I'll be honest with you, I'd go with Rush.
Yeah, I could see that.
I mean, depending upon how much of the offense, because people always talk about, well, okay, I caught myself mid-thought. I was going to say that people always talk about he knows our system. Well, Mike McCarthy didn't run their system, but they kept Kellen Moore. So Cooper Rush probably does know, the foundation of the system, just needs to know, the updates and the quirks.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think as far as the superiority for the offense, be Cooper Rush, but Garrett Gilbert's got a better arm.
Yeah, but Rush, when, again, all we saw was pretty much him in preseason a couple of years ago. Rush has got some ability. Now, please don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Rush and Dak or, any other starting quarterback are on the same level. What I'm saying is you saw some bright spots out of Cooper Rush. Garrett Gilbert, the last bright spots we saw out of him was in the AAF.
Yep. Yeah, man, he's hung around for a long time. He started out at Texas in college. Didn't work out, went to SMU. Did okay there. And then he's somehow he's bounced around in the NFL being a third string, practice squad guy for, it seems like, forever now.
Yeah. And that's why I say if I had to have my pick between those two and everything was equal, I'm going with Cooper Rush.
You're right. But it's going to be, I don't think the Cowboys, when I kind of look at it, I think if Andy Dalton can get back, I don't think they'll lose more games than the Jets and the Texans. I don't think they'll be in the Fields, Trevor Lawrence sweepstakes. I just don't feel that.
Yeah. Let me read this. Garrett Gilbert has been. This is McCarthy talking. He says Garrett Gilbert has been here for a couple of weeks. He's had a chance to play in preseason games, not with the Cowboys. Come on, McCarthy. Just has more experience and no different with Coop. Coop played last year, is very familiar with the system, and offensive coordinator Kellen Moore has a lot of confidence there. We're going to let those two guys practice. We're going to go through the week and then make the decision.
Yeah. So what's wrong with Andy Dalton? Does he have COVID?
Well, he's on the list. And in fact, McCarthy spoke about that too. McCarthy said he's doing fine. We'll see how he goes throughout the time. He's on the COVID list, but I think by the end of next week, we'll be able to see him again. Because, they got the bye week next week.
Got it.
Yeah, so when they come back, they'll have Andy Dalton. But what kind of position will they be in?
Yeah, no, that's a good question, man. I can't figure out what the Cowboys are doing. But at offseason, they got to make some interesting decisions, not only with Dak, but also Zeke as well. I think there's going to be some shakeup there.
You know, and Todd, all honesty, I don't think that the Cowboys are going to do anything major with Dak or Zeke other than, sign Dak. But I think they're going to go back to what they did to get there. They got to rebuild that offensive line. That offensive line, everybody was saying, their Dak and Zeke's rookie year, it was because of the offensive line. After that, it was because of the offensive line. Then they started getting some injuries on that offensive line, and look at what we have now. If they do anything with Dak or Zeke, it doesn't matter if they don't do anything with that offensive line.
Yeah, no, you're right. I think with them, the key to their success was having that great O-line. When that line started to deteriorate, even though Dak continued to play well, I think the running game started to falter, and then it just wasn't the same. That doesn't explain for the defense looking as bad as it is.
And I was going to say, if I had to rank my problems as a Dallas Cowboy general manager, owner, whatever, number one, offensive line. Number two, or 1B, is the defense.
Yep. Yeah, you got to fix that defense. So, I look back, when they took CeeDee Lamb, was that a good pick or should you have went defense? I would have went defense. Like, to me, CeeDee Lamb was like a luxury item, right?
They had to take him. Seriously, with football being best player available, they had to take him. It messed up their and we still gave them a high mark on their draft, but it probably changed their flow on how they were going to go. Because they knew they had let Byron Jones go, so they knew that there was some value in the draft to replace him, and then they knew they had lost Frederick and some other players had question marks on that O-line. So by taking CeeDee Lamb, it changes the complexion of your draft board.
I'd be curious to go back. I think I'm going to pull that up another day and just see who was around that pick for CD, right?
Yep.
Just curious if there's a defender out there maybe in the 17, 18, 19 range, that's doing well. But I hear what you're saying. No, CeeDee Lamb is special. But I don't know if that was, really, I don't know. I would have went defense, but to your point, if there wasn't somebody there you really like, you don't reach for him. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think you go kind of like the Ozzie Newsome philosophy. You take the best player on the board.
Yep, because I'll never forget hearing a guy who, has been in several different war rooms said, if you ever draft to your need, you're going to need to draft again.
That makes sense. No, you're right, because you're going to reach, right?
Yep.
You're going to start taking the guy in the second round. It's really a third rounder.
Yep.
But no, that makes sense. I'm with you on that. CeeDee Lamb is special. He's going to have a good career. But, yeah, you're right. The offensive line, the secondary. I don't know. I go back to I've always been a philosophy. I've never, if I'm a GM, I've never thought you needed a high-priced running backs. I'm not saying I devalue running backs, but there's so many good running backs out there that you can get as rookie free agents, late-round picks, veterans. I've never. That's just personally, if I was a GM, I wouldn't do that. Let me give you an example, right? Remember when the Cowboys had DeMarco Murray?
Yep.
And they ran him up, right? They used him up. They put what was the year? He had almost 400 carries, something ridiculous, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the Cowboys were like, we're not going to pay you, right? And then they let the Eagles give him that big old contract, and DeMarco just didn't have any tread left, right?
Yeah.
So there's nothing against Zeke. I personally gave him that big money contract because I feel like you needed to rebuild the O-line. And I'm not saying you can put anybody behind it, but there's a lot of serviceable backs out there that I think could have done a serviceable job and maybe put that money elsewhere.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of running backs that are in a different breed or level than all the other running backs out there. And I know that Ezekiel Elliott was one of them. You know, Ezekiel was one of those guys I followed since high school.
Yep.
And the dude has just been phenomenal. And that's why he got so mad at Urban Meyer in a game they lost, I think, against Michigan State. He only had like 12, 13 carries.
I remember.
And if you look back over his history, Ezekiel is one of those guys, gets better when you feed him the most. He has major yardage in the fourth quarter. And that's all they needed in that game because they didn't lose by a lot. And Urban decided to go away from Zeke and go to the passing game, and they lost. And they ended up, kissing and making up. But that's who Ezekiel Elliott is. But with the Cowboys, you can't do that as much because what have they been all season long? Behind.
Look, here's my question. Do you still think Zeke is that same guy? I don't see the same burst anymore. So I don't see the same player, right? But I'm with you. So let me ask you a question.
Wait, Todd, hold on. I did it again, man. I was looking at the clock and it's off, and I missed our top of the hour. Let me take care of the business. I'm going to come right back to you. This is KYOK, Conroe, Houston, AM 1140 and FM 92.3, the legendary KYOK.
The views and opinions expressed on all radio shows broadcast on KYOK are entirely those of the host, guests, and callers who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management. And Kamala Harris ticket set a new record with more than 69 million votes cast for them in the 2020 presidential election. 2 races were announced Wednesday afternoon, with Biden taking Wisconsin and Michigan. However, a number of battleground states are still in play. The U.S. Postal Service ignored a court-ordered deadline Tuesday morning to search mail processing facilities in more than a dozen states for over 300,000 missing election ballots. If it is determined that the timely delivery of valid ballots was obstructed by the Postal Service, then hundreds of thousands of voters have been disenfranchised. Oregon voters cast their ballots Tuesday to relax drug laws in the state, making it the first to decriminalize possession of small amounts of drugs like cocaine and heroin. Voters in Arizona, New Jersey, and several other states voted to legalize marijuana for some of its residents. Please visit SibylWilkes.com to subscribe to my free daily newsletter. Be informed, be empowered.
All right, y'all. We are back on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. Special guest Willy Gibson has joined me. And, Willie, I'm going to bring you into discussion that we're having, me and Todd are having about the Dallas Cowboys and what they may or may not do heading into this next season. Todd seems to think that they may actually look at doing something with Ezekiel Elliott and or Dak Prescott. And Todd, go ahead and finish your thought. I had to, take care of the legalese over here.
And I think with Zeke, if you got to pay Dak or fix the O-line, I think Zeke could be a casualty potentially in that process. They're moving on from him.
And sticking with Tony Pollard and some other random dude named who knows what?
If you got a good O-line, I'm of the philosophy you don't need a top shelf running back. Look at the Pittsburgh Steelers. They don't seem to be missing Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, but as soon as Le'Veon got let go by the Jets, the Steeler players were the first ones like, yo, man, forget the bygones, let them be bygone, come home. Like, they know the difference.
Refresh my memory. Weren't some of the old linemen, weren't they coming after him?
Yeah, they were. The several of the teammates were coming after him. Remember, they went through his locker before his stuff could be boxed up and sent to him. A lot of them made comments about the man's money, and that's cardinal rule number one when a player's going through contract talk. I mean, whatever unwritten rule the Steelers could have broken, they did concerning Le'Veon Bell, and some of them were the main ones saying, yo, man, come home.
I'm not saying like a James Conner is better than Le'Veon. I'm just saying I think money's better spent on maybe a different position group.
Real quick, Ezekiel Elliott 132 carries this year, 521 yards. We're at the halfway point, still averaging 3.95 yards per carry, 5 touchdowns. Tony Pollard, 38 carries, 149 yards, 3.92 yards per carry, 1 touchdown. I don't know, bro. I don't know.
How much Tony making? How much Zeke making? Same yards per carry.
But then you got to look at who we're talking about too. And Willie, you can jump in on this as well. We're talking about Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones likes big, flashy toys. He doesn't like Chevys.
Right. And then to that point, a couple things. Zeke will be 26 next year.
Yeah.
He's already under a long-term deal.
Yeah.
So you have a running back on a deal. Running backs tend to hit the slide around 28, 29. So you still have 3 years left on that. 2, to get rid of Zeke at this point will be a cap hit of $24.5 million, which the Cowboys cannot absorb.
Okay. I didn't even think about cap hits.
Yeah.
Say it again, Todd.
Willie, what if you trade him and someone picks up that contract? Not cut him, trade him.
Not many teams can absorb that kind of contract.
1, and then 2, you want to be the GM that trades Ezekiel Elliott? Why? Zeke's not the problem. Zeke is not a problem in Dallas. So I don't understand the excitement or the.
What we were talking about is the Cowboys have a couple of more holes this year than they had last year. So now it's not just paying Dak; it's paying Dak, fixing the offensive line, and fixing your defense. So,
well, here's the thing: a couple things. To that point, Dallas still has $23 million in cap space now. This year.
Okay.
So, Dak signing Dak long term would help them because his salary cap number right now is 31.4. If they franchise him next year, it's 37.8. So you get him under a long term deal, bring that cap number down. That's where you free your money up to fill your holes on your defensive front, your corner, your offensive line, things of that nature. So really keeping that team together, I don't see a reason to break that up. You have the money, and if need be, you restructure. You restructure Zeke in order to free up additional funds to fill the holes that you need to fill.
So, but is there the money in that cap room you're talking about? Is there enough money? Because Tyron Smith, his best days are behind him. You don't have an elite left tackle anymore, in my opinion. Can you fix all those issues and still pay Dak? I'm not a cap expert, that's why I'm asking. Can you fix all those issues they got and still pay Dak?
Well, see, that's the thing. Again, Dak's part of that. Signing Dak will fix that because that brings Dak's number down. You get Dak under a long-term 5-6 year deal, that cap number is going to lower. That's where you receive the funds to fix your other positions.
Okay.
Right, and that's why you see guys they'll do it, they'll get a deal done, and then they'll start working on the other stuff.
Mm-hmm. Like for example, Dak at a franchise number next year, Dak will be at 37.8, but you get him under a 5-year deal, and you make year 1, you front load it, you get him a low base salary, and that number may be 28. That's $10 million right there that you freed up, in addition to the 23 that you already have, that you can go out and fill those holes. And again, you can restructure DeMarcus Lawrence, you restructure a Zeke, you restructure a Leo Collins. That's where you free up cap dollars to fix the holes that you have.
Keith Hennig said that the local station in Austin says that Gilbert is going to start.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I've been hearing. I don't know how fluid that is, but I mean, that's kind of what I've been reading online, is that they were leaning towards that.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's been official yet.
Yeah, and I'm not going to say the K word, but Pittsburgh's going to eat off of whoever they put back there, especially if it's one of those 3 guys.
AJ, let me ask Willie a question about Urban Meyer, if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Then I got another call holding time.
All right, so Willie, you and I have been kicking around on Twitter about Urban coming back, right?
Okay.
So people in the Texas program that I talk to, they seem to think they can get Urban. And I know you and I have talked about it. You're saying, hey, no chance. Hell's not going to let him come back. Do you think there's any possible way Texas could pry him out of that TV job he got.
Negative 4,080.
Tell me why. The health or anything else?
Yeah, he's finished. He's finished. And then okay, let's say he wasn't. He is, but let's say he wasn't. You have the optic of him replacing his quote unquote protege. It's bad optics. But all that being said, he's not coaching anymore.
Is it true to the rumor? Is there a lot of bad blood between Tom Herman and Urban Meyer, or is that just social media stuff?
A lot of bad blood.
It's funny that you said it that way because there's not a lot of bad blood, Todd. But you know how I joke around about he can't come knock on my door unannounced, and it's who is it? And Urban says who is it? And he says Tom. He says Tom who? He says Tom Herman. He probably ain't letting him in.
So there's definitely something there to it. Then correct?
You said that. I didn't say that, but I'll let that stand.
Yeah, I'll see. Willie can't say it because he covers all that. I'll say it. There's something there. There's something there, and I got wind of, what it stemmed from and what have you, and that's why now all of a sudden, Urban Meyer telling Tom Herman, "Hey, does the guy have Texas on the front of his jersey? Then they're all your guys." That makes a little bit more sense after I heard what I heard.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, AJ, I'll let you go. I know you got another caller.
Hey, bro, always a good call with you, Todd.
I appreciate it, guys.
All right, let me take another call real quick. Hello, you're live on the lunch break on the Legendary KYOK. Who's this?
Brother AJ, and I believe it's Mr. Gibson, Ferdinand.
Hey, Ferdinand, sorry to have you holding so long, man. We were chopping up a few things right there. I called your name earlier. You have any idea why the Texans would sign Josh McCown shortly after they shut down their facility for COVID-19?
No, not at all, AJ.
Okay.
Got more problems than that, They need to go in a different direction for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, again, I don't think that Romeo Crennel got up today and said, "Oh, hey, man, I heard Josh McCown might be available. Can we get him?" And then Jack Easterby gets on the phone and all of a sudden says, "I got you, Josh McCown. He's coming."
Yeah, I don't believe Romeo have a say in anything. He just kind of orchestrating things until they bring somebody else in.
Yeah, which goes back to why is Jack Easterby still there? Because, again, unless we get an announcement that either the name that we don't want to say has come into contact with or has it, or the backup. We don't want that either. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, they might as well just give me the code to the bank account and let me blow off the money because that's all they're doing. I mean, McCown doesn't fit the offense. He brings nothing to the table. I mean, if you're trying to get a quarterback coach, just hire one. I mean, don't bring in some journeyman 41-year-old quarterback who's been with his 12th team.
Well, one thing, gentlemen, that I know and know that it's going to exist for a while, the good old boy system still works, and it's not going away. And I didn't have much AJ, but I wanted to defend my team, Pittsburgh. The Steelers struggled mightily when Le'Veon Bell was looking for his money. And gentlemen, by all means, I think that any African-American male can get all the money that's on the table for them because they deserve it. Le'Veon, I guess he knew that, man, what if I get hurt? What can I leave for my family? And it's not wrong with a guy that has his stature to look out for his family. And so when Le'Veon went his way, the Steelers, they struggle. And so if I was Le'Veon, just because they wanted me back, would I go back? Absolutely not. He's in the best position that he can be in over there with the Chiefs. There's one or two teams that will win the Super Bowl next year. You got either Kansas City or Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, the reason why Pittsburgh is at where they are, and I'm gone, John, you have one of the greatest coaches that ever coached the game. He added to, restructured, and he worked with what he had until his captain came back. Now he found out his weaknesses. Right now they're strong. They can only beat themselves. And I think Le'Veon Bell will be the factor if them guys ever meet up and we'll see how that goes.
All right, Ferdinand. Appreciate you as always, brother.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a good one.
All right, stand by. We'll have a quick break. We'll be right back.
Legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM.
If you are trying to quit drinking or doing too many drugs, listen to me. You don't know me and we'll never meet. I had a problem like you once. I drank and used to party a little too much till it got out of control and almost ruined my life. I realized I needed help to fix my problem before it totally destroyed me. If you've tried to fix your drinking and drug problem and you know you can't do it alone, you need to call the National Treatment Advisors. They'll immerse you into a 30-day program to replace your old habits with new habits and totally change your life. And if you have PPO private health insurance, the entire program may be covered. Fix your problem right now before it gets any worse. Get clean. Call now and learn more. 800-961-2730. 800-961-2730. That's 800-961-2730.
I'm going to tell you how you can get real health insurance for as little as $6 a day. Yes, now you can get affordable health insurance for you and your family immediately, starting at just $6 a day. And coverage is guaranteed regardless of your medical condition. That's right, for about $6 a day, you can have guaranteed health insurance. And there's dental, vision, and prescription coverage too. You owe it to yourself and your family to make this free call right now and learn more. There are no deductibles, no waiting period, no contracts, and coverage is guaranteed. Call National Health right now for your risk-free guaranteed health insurance quote starting at just $6 a day. Call now.
800-797-0921. 800-797-0921. 800-797-0921. That's 800-797-0921. Paid for by GoHealth.
Now, back to the lunch break.
All right, y'all, back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. It is our Throwback Thursday. Joining me today all the way from Columbus, Ohio, home of the Ohio State Buckeyes, broadcast journalist who covers the Big Ten and the Cleveland Browns, who I got accused of being a fan of today, and I took exception to that. No, man, it's nobody but Willy Gibson. Hey, bro, how you doing?
Good, sir. How are you, man?
I'm doing good, man. Well, I'm pressing, man. I don't know what this chest crud is I got, but it's working with me, man.
Oh, you got it.
Hot stuff right now.
Oh, you got it.
So, you want to address a couple of the things that were said right there by Ferdinand.
Yeah, Le'Veon. As far as I know, we talked about Le'Veon leaving money on the table. Me personally, I think that was a flat out horrible decision because you had a guaranteed 15.5 on a franchise tag, guaranteed, and you walked away from it, sat out a year, and granted he got 27 from the Jets, but that 15 you'll never see again. You lost a year. You didn't produce in New York. New York cut you by your request, nonetheless, but you're in Kansas City on the veterans minimum. That $15 million. I don't see how he sees that. Again, running backs at 28 and beyond don't get those third contracts. So for him to sit out on a $15.5 million contract, I think he got bad advice, or maybe he got good advice and chose not to listen to it.
Yeah, and you know, I get it. You know, I'm a numbers guy. I'm a money man, so I get it. He took a chance at a time when it was probably best to take those chances because you saw other guys get the kind of salaries at a running back position that you didn't normally see. So he tried it, and it didn't work. And some people are better at living with that than most folks are. Like I know people who are more mad about business decisions that I made, and they didn't lose a nickel. You know what I mean? They didn't lose a dime, but they're like actively mad because I chose not to do something, or I chose to do something that they didn't think was a good idea. So I can't be mad at him. He tried it. And then I will not fault him for anything in New York. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Oh, no. It didn't work in New York. I'm just merely thinking, speaking of the financials.
I hate that he went there. Yeah, I hate that he went there in the first place. Money aside, I hate that he went there. Like, I'll say this, folks think I'm lying. I would not go to ESPN for any amount of money. Any amount of money. And keep them in prayer. They're laying off 300 employees over the next couple of days. And you know, I don't want anybody to lose their job. But I just, that's my thing. I would not work for them. When I worked for AT&T, I would never take a job with MCI. I would never have taken a job with Sprint or WorldCom, one of the other competitors. Mm-hmm. So, you know, some people don't have those kind of lines in the sand. You know, put a big enough dollar amount on it. It's like, well, I don't want to work for y'all, but I'm gonna take that money. That just wouldn't be me. I know how my life is right now. So not having that money, I know how to live without that. But will I be able to live with myself going there and taking that money? That's what I think about.
Understood.
And I wouldn't work for the Jets for nothing. They'd have to have a whole new owner.
Fair enough.
Yeah. All right, another quick break, and then we'll come back and get into it. Throwback Thursday.
Let's go.
On the lunch break. We'll be right back.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM. The legendary KYOK 92.3 FM. Radio stations in one.
You're home. You're a diabetic. You need supplies, but you don't want to visit the pharmacy. What do? Call US Med for home delivery of your supplies. If you have diabetes and you're worried about going to a crowded pharmacy, pick up the phone in the safety and comfort of your home and let US Med deliver them to you with free shipping. And now if you test your blood sugar 4 more times a day and inject insulin 3 or more times a day, you may qualify to get a new continuous glucose monitor at little or no cost, which may eliminate the pain of pricking your fingers and helps you make smarter diabetes
decisions. Say it one more time.
We'll send you a 90-day supply and bill your insurance company for you. Get some peace of mind. Call US Med today.
800-417-0851. 800-417-0851. That's 800-417-0851.
Let's be honest, wheelchairs are heavy, bulky, and ugly. If you carry a wheelchair in your car to take care of a loved one, you know how hard it is getting that clunky, old-style wheelchair in and out of your car. Introducing the Feather Chair Wheelchair. At 13 pounds, it's the world's lightest wheelchair. It folds in seconds and fits neatly in your trunk, backseat, or closet, so you can take it everywhere. And it's only available...
I see it. I got something to address it. I see it.
Wheelchair case, a $50 value, yours free. The Feather Chair, the world's lightest wheelchair, is just $4.99 with easy payments as low as $16 a month. Sorry, no Medicare or insurance accepted. So call right now to order yours.
800-262-4690. 800-262-4690. 800-262-4690.
Bailey, get over here.
262-4690.
Be quiet.
Hi, I'm Larry Scott, host of the Not So Christian and Me Show. Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion with real conversation in a no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian and Me Show, right here on the legendary KYOK Radio, 1140 AM, and the all-new 92.3 FM and KYOKradio.org.
Hey, what's going on? This is Lecrae, and right now you're listening to The Lunch Break.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones. It is our Throwback Thursday. Willy Gibson, broadcast journalist from Columbus, Ohio, joining us here on the show. And Karen Gibson says anything is possible. Situations change, owners change, etc., etc., etc. Again, I'm a little different. I'm probably more like the Claw. I'm probably not the guy that if you got a beat, I'm gonna dance to it. I'm just a little different. Folks would be pushing me down to get those jobs, and I'd be like, hey, don't push, you got it. Mm-hmm. But now when I'm passionate for it, I'll take less to do it. Big Time Floyd says, hello, AJ and Breakers. Jerry Jones needs to make McCarthy a one-and-done coach. Let the new man in charge pick his own staff, rebuild the offensive line. Upcoming draft make defensive players high priority. It's time to trade Zeke because he simply is no longer focused. Fumble issues. The boys need a back that can take it to the next level. Let's face it, Zeke is washed up.
Interesting.
And he's a Cowboy fan too. Huge Cowboy fan.
Right. I respectfully disagree. What I would say to counter that is Zeke's a 25-year-old running back playing with the fourth-string quarterback behind an offensive line missing 3 starters. Who's going to produce effectively in that position? I don't. Zeke is not the problem here. Absolutely not. I mean, he's there. He's playing. But again, they're missing 3 starters on that offensive line and playing a quarterback that 3 weeks ago was on the practice squad in Cleveland.
Yep.
So how Zeke is the problem, or how Zeke, I just don't agree with that.
Yeah. And I'm not speaking for Big Time Floyd because he's very well versed to speak for himself. I know some Cowboy fans that I know, Doc, they want it right now. They want it right now. They want it consistent. They want it the way it was. And again, the fact that the Cowboys are having offensive line issues after building what most folks dream of. But to Karen's point, things change.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's do I call it the beauty of sports or the nature of sports? You know, you're one injury away from a major change in what you had before. You're one trade away from a major change in what happened before. You're one decision away. A guy could decide, I just don't want to play anymore. And now you don't have the same setup that you had before. And while it affects everybody else, it doesn't necessarily speak to how good somebody else is. Zeke is still a once-in-a-lifetime back. I'll put that against anything and anybody. Zeke is a once-in-a-lifetime back. Saquon Barkley, once-in-a-lifetime back. You know, Christian McCaffrey, a once-in-a-lifetime back. You know, and just because you have a few of them in the league right now doesn't mean that doesn't make either one of them not that. I mean, we used to have a Magic Johnson. We used to have a Michael Jordan. We used to have a Dominique Wilkins, a Larry Bird in the league at the same time. So you can have once-in-a-lifetime players in the league at the same time. It doesn't make one of them not as good as we think they are.
Right. And again, you know, football is the ultimate team game. You're one of 11. So if anybody is out of position on any one play, you're going to look bad. And it may not be your fault.
Right.
I mean, how many times does the quarterback throw an interception? It's like, oh, the quarterback stinks. He's this, he's that. Well, the receiver ran the wrong route. But we never know that.
Yep.
Because we go by what we see.
Right. And that's why I would eat Bill O'Brien up when he'd take the podium and some kind of way blame somebody else. And it's like, wait a minute. Dak is holding the ball. I mean, Deshaun is holding the ball so too long. What play did you call? Mm-hmm. What was the protection? What was the Z route? What did the slot receiver do? Who did not do their job for Deshaun to have to try to alter a possibly bad call with the wrong protection where somebody didn't run the right route?
Right.
A lot into that. Into that.
Absolutely. Same thing with Baker. You know, we see Baker all the time, and it's like, you know, he's this, he's that, he's this, he's that. Hey, you said it up. Hey, you served it up. And the thing about it, it was so unintentional on my part. It was so unintentional.
I'll tell you something. I will take it because it was very well played. Very well played, sir. Very well played.
Indeed.
Yeah, and then I've admitted I don't like Baker, but so he could do it all right, and I'd still swear it was wrong.
Now get that hate out your heart, man. Come on.
It's not hate. No, I genuinely don't like him. It's not hate.
I know. Mm-mm. I got you.
Who is it? Baker? Who? Baker. Baker who? Mayfield. Get off my yard.
Wow.
Get off my yard. Calling the police.
Wow.
Yep. So, I'm still trying to get to the bottom of this Texan things. I don't want to belabor it, but it's just so out of the norm and makes absolutely no sense. There's something we don't know.
Well, here's the thing. A couple things. Well, to that COVID thing, I don't think it's quarterback related. What I saw is Jacob Martin was the player that tested positive.
Right.
And then with Merciless and Dylan Cole were contact traced back to him, so they won't play on Sunday. So I think AJ McCarron's fine. I think for me, everything in this game, everything in sports to me is relationship based. Everything is traced back to relationship. So first thing I did, I heard your first hour, I looked at the coaching staff. Who's on staff that maybe McCown worked with in the past. I didn't see an obvious connection. Maybe the offensive line coach back in the day, maybe. Then I thought about it. Agents. Think about the scenario. We talked about it. McCown's 41 years old. Does he really want to end his NFL career on a practice squad? No. So
right now, well, and again, that makes sense because
Right.
they do moves during the bye week. So
right. So the agent, maybe I don't know who else. Mike McCarthy is the agent for Josh McCown. I don't know who else he represents on the Texans. Maybe there's a scenario where, hey, we're throwing a bone here. That in upcoming negotiations he'll show some love. I don't know. I'm not reporting that. I'm not saying that. I just say that situation and that scenario exists way more than people admit or even know.
I got you. We'll see. We'll see.
So
same thing with the game tonight with the Green Bay Packers and the 49ers. 49ers, 3 players on the COVID list, closed their facility. And they're already without Kittle. And
yep, we got it. You already know.
Yeah, somebody
UPS man is in the building. UPS man is in the building.
Yeah. And Rock rolls out. I just feel like if the 49er defense, which some people feel like they can still win it because of their defense, I don't know, bro. I mean, their losses weren't against great quarterbacks like Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers is coming off of a loss. So
I think. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I think. I mean, San Francisco's defense is decimated, and we talked about the same thing with Dallas's offensive line. Their defensive front. Not only the defensive front, I think they have a couple receivers that are sitting out on the COVID list as well. So, if they win, anything's possible. But the KG say anything is possible.
But not Green Bay.
Right, it's Green Bay, and I think. That man number 12. Say what you want. Again, they got him no help, but he's proven time and time again. Does he really need the help? Devontae Adams, Scantling, Lazard. He's doing it with who he has.
Yeah, and that's what I like about LaFleur. He's put in an offense that is not player-driven, but, again, you can win it with guys that do their jobs and their roles.
Right.
Because that offense is pretty high power.
It is. And
if it gets in a shootout, there's no way in the world you can tell me Nick Mullins is going to outshoot Aaron Rodgers.
No, it's a wrap. It's a done deal.
49ers are a 7-point underdog in that one, and I definitely feel like Green Bay is going to be 7 or more better than the 49ers. Let me go down to the Sunday night game. New Orleans at Tampa Bay. Obviously, Tampa Bay lost to New Orleans week 1, and that was probably the time to get them. Other than that week 1 loss, they lost 4 games ago against the Bears in Chicago, and it was 20-19.
Yep.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. I really don't. I want to say New Orleans, but I don't know.
I'll say it's Tampa. I'll tell you right now, it's Tampa. Think about it. Early on, Tom Brady coming in 43 years old, no offseason, no OTAs, no true training camp to be able to mesh and gel with his receivers. So now you've played 7 games. This is week 8 for him. I think he's hitting his stride. Oh, and by the way, Antonio Brown is active for the Saints game as well. Now, will he have monster numbers? Probably not. But trust and believe he's on that field. Dennis Allen has to account for him, and that opens up for Mike Evans, for Leonard Fournette, for Chris Godwin, for whomever, Brate, Gronk, whomever.
And the one area the Saints have a problem is in that secondary and on that defense.
There it is. There it is. So I think, Tom Brady's gonna put in work. Drew Brees is as well, and Kamara as well. Michael Thomas. Is he gonna play? We don't know.
Yeah,
he's gonna play. He's gonna play.
Yeah, he'll be there.
It'd be a nice little shootout, but I got to go with Tampa.
Yeah, for me, it comes down to that. It comes down to Dennis Allen versus Sean Payton. Versus offensive coordinator for Tampa and
Byron
Leftwich. And then I don't know, man. I just don't know. And then now you're talking Tom Brady versus Dennis Allen. I just don't know. It's gonna be a good game though.
I think so.
I feel like the Saints need to keep it simple. I feel like they need to. Drew Brees threw the ball 41 times in that Bears win, and that included overtime. I just don't think that's the way the Saints win or can win or should be winning right now with this Drew Brees.
No, without question, no. Without question. It's not. Alvin Kamara's shown you. If he, outside of the quarterbacks, name me an MVP of the league. I don't see anyone else. He has to be in that discussion. He has to be in that conversation. But how much do they trust him to put it in his hands in a game winning type situation?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go with the Saints. I'm going to go ahead and go with it. That's probably more of a heart pick than the reality. In fact, what's the line in that game? Tampa Bay is a 4-point favorite.
Yep.
I think the Saints will cover, but I believe that they can win it.
Understood. That's Tampa. It's Tampa for me.
Let's see. Keith Hennig said, "Well said, Willie. The Bucs play to their level of competition, and they should beat the Saints."
Yeah, I agree. Well, I couldn't say it better.
Another interesting game: Baltimore at Indianapolis. Baltimore at Indianapolis. 2 5-2 teams, same conference. And oh yeah, by the way, both of them are 2 games behind the Steelers. So if Baltimore has any hopes of winning their division or being the number 1 seed, to me, it's on the line this week.
Yeah, I think division-wise, they're 2 back with. It's possible. Anything's possible again.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
Yeah, but I see Baltimore winning this game. Of course, I think as I said, Phillip Rivers would give you 2 or 3. That's a weekly occurrence.
Yeah.
So anytime he's on the field, you got to take that into consideration. Marlon Humphrey, I don't know, with him being out, he's on the reserve COVID list. Mark Ingram, on the offensive side is still out. Gus Edwards and Buckeye J.K. Dobbins put in work last week. So I think Baltimore has enough to beat Indianapolis. Again, taking into account Phillip Rivers and what he's going to give you on to both teams.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see on that one. Let's see. Baltimore, 1.5-point favorite on the road. I'm going with Baltimore. Because, like you said, Phillip Rivers will give it up. Phillip Rivers will definitely give it up. Let me see. I'm looking at other interesting games. The Bears and Tennessee is all of a sudden interesting. Bears coming off of a tough loss. Tennessee lost to Cincinnati.
Yeah. I think they got caught sleeping. I don't see Tennessee losing 2 in a row, let alone losing to a Bears team. Is that in Tennessee or is that in Chicago?
It's in Tennessee.
It's in Tennessee. Oh, yeah. Tennessee bounced back.
Tennessee 6.5-point favorite. That's a huge spread. Huge spread. Yeah, I don't see the Bears losing that by that much.
And Tennessee cut Vic Beasley this week, so it could be addition by subtraction. Yeah, I think it's Tennessee bounce back.
You know, I want to go back to something we were talking about Dallas. One of the reasons why Dallas's defense played better this past week, I mean, yeah, they were playing Philly, but they had Van Der Esch back.
Yeah.
And Van Der Esch is one of those guys that shuts down that leaky stuff defensively. Kind of like Luke Kuechly, but I'm not saying he's on that same level yet.
Right.
But when you've got a legit linebacker that takes care of everything from that backfield to the before you get to the second level, that takes a lot of pressure off of that secondary. That takes a lot of pressure off of that defense. If they can keep him upright, along with Jalen Smith, that linebacker core is legit. It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got sideline to sideline linebackers.
They do. Jalen Smith freelances a little too much for my liking.
True. And you get in a position when you freelance.
Right.
You typically get burned.
Right. And I see that happen.
You guys realize there is always somebody that's an eye in the sky. And when they see you, like you said, freelancing, they're going to make that phone call downstairs and say, hey, guess what? The linebacker drifts every time so-and-so goes to the left or to the right. Go ahead and play action that way, and we ought to have the backside right where he left wide open.
Exactly. Yeah. To a lesser extent, Sean Lee was back. And I can't believe I'm saying this because Sean Lee, I mean, the most favorable ability is availability.
Yeah.
And he's not available. He has not been available. When he's there,
he's got a nose for the football.
He makes it happen. Right. It makes it happen, but he's typically not there. That played a part. I mean, we'll see. I mean, that defense needs work, needs help. Like I said, we talked about it. CD Lamb, you had the taking, but the pick was Caleb Von Chasen, who went number 19 to Jacksonville the pick after.
Yeah, I pull that up, and I forgot that was the case.
Yeah.
I don't give, and I'm sorry, Cowboy fans, I don't give the Cowboys a shot against Pittsburgh. I just don't.
No.
I just don't.
Why should you? If they've given you no reason to.
Yeah.
It's 2 and 6? They'll be 2 and 6, 2 and 7 at that point, going into the bye.
Yeah, 2 and 6 right now, 2 and 7.
Yeah, so they'll be 2 and 7. I mean, I've heard reports where Zeke is being limited in practice with a hamstring.
Right.
Alden Smith is being limited in practice with a knee. I think they're being limited in order to prepare for that draft position.
Mm-hmm.
Why give Zeke quote unquote meaningless carries in the 2 and 7 season?
Mm-hmm.
2 and 6 going against a defense as Pittsburgh is.
Yeah.
I think.
Do me a favor, stay there. Let me get a break in. We'll be right back. We'll be right back with more right after this on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all new 92.3 FM.
This is a potter's field. When people can't pay for their funerals, they are buried here. It is a lonely, desolate place, littered with unmarked headstones. No one visits. No one leaves flowers. But it doesn't have to be that way. For as low as $1 a day, you can ensure your family will have the money to pay your funeral expenses. We offer burial insurance plans that pay up to $30,000. Considering the average funeral costs more than $10,000, that's peace of mind for your family. There are no medical exams, your rates won't increase, and your policy cannot be canceled as long as you make your premium payments. Call now to get approved in minutes and ensure your final resting place is more than just a pauper's grave in a potter's field.
800-308-6729. 800-308-6729. 800-308-6729. That's 800-308-6729. Paid for by Final Expense Direct.
I am a non-attorney spokesperson representing a team of lawyers who help people that have been injured or wronged. If you've been involved in a serious car, truck, or motorcycle accident or injured at work, you have rights, and you may be entitled to money for your suffering. Don't accept an offer you get from an insurance company until you talk to a lawyer. And we represent some of the best personal injury lawyers you can find.
John
Tough
Breach from
lawyers that will
CBS says
fight to
the
win
Colts
your
beat
case.
the-
And they're
the
so
Ravens.
good they stake their
Who said
reputation
it?
by only
John
getting
Breach.
paid if you win. So if you've been in a serious
Okay.
car, truck, or motorcycle accident or hurt on the job, find out today for free what kind of compensation you may be entitled to. Call the legal helpline right now.
800-547-4170. 800-547-4170.
Willy Gibson of WTG Sports said the Ravens are going to beat the Colts.
800-547-4170. That's 800-547-4170.
Hey, what's up? This your boy James Fortune, and you are listening to the Lunch Break. Keep it locked.
All right, John Breach, CBS Sports, in his picks got the Colts 23-20 over the Ravens. Also says that Tampa Bay will get their revenge on the New Orleans Saints. And he's got Green Bay winning a close one against San Francisco. So,
Close, huh?
nice,
Wow.
man. It must be nice to have a major network behind your name where you could just get out there crazy like that. Just get out there crazy. Just crazy.
I'll let you know. I'll let you know.
Yeah, man. When you do it, you let me know.
Oh, for sure.
You let me know. Real quick, man. Let me read this about Central State University because I want to make sure we give them some love. Central State University, right there in Wilberforce, Ohio. Established in 1887, 133-year-old university. Got a $2.1 million endowment. President is Dr. Jack Thomas. 2,033 students. Love it. Maroon and Gold, they are part of the NCAA Division II. They are the Marauders and the Lady Marauders. They have 14 sports teams, and their mascot is Marauder Man. How about that?
Yep.
How about that? Central State University, if you're looking for a school for your children, your grandchildren, nieces, nephews, you might want to consider Central State up there in Ohio.
I took a visit.
Yeah?
Early on when I was in the process of
I never did. I didn't. You did, huh?
Yeah, I took a visit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. I looked at a couple of the liberal arts school. I looked at Ashland College. I looked at Oberlin, Ohio Wesleyan.
Yep.
If I had to do it all over again, I'd have went right on up there to Wilberforce and went across the street, looked at Central State, and went back across the street, looked at Wilberforce.
Yeah. Yes, took a visit to Central State. Considered Ashland, but I'm a Buckeye.
Look how he dropped back in there.
Yeah.
Did you play sports in school, Willie?
In high school, yes.
Yeah.
College, no.
Okay. What'd you play?
Ran track, ran cross country, basketball. So, high school.
Could you play basketball, Willie? Were you good? Were you nice?
It's not past tense. It's not could I.
Hey man, I felt that. I felt that all up in here. Willie
Yes,
said it's not past tense.
Sure.
Yeah,
Now, here's the thing. I'll be honest with you. Let's see. About 13 years ago, I tore my Achilles, and I've been told I can't play anymore. I was playing basketball with my son when I tore my Achilles.
Oh wow!
And after that, I was told I could not play anymore. So we'll see.
How many times have you played in those 12 years?
A couple, I think. Somebody's listening. I haven't played at all, AJ.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot.
Played,
I can't do that to you. I
haven't played. I've her nose up.
Where'd you go to high school?
John R. Buchtel High School, Akron, Ohio. The Griffins.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I don't remember coming across y'all at Forest Park.
Nah, you probably didn't.
Yeah.
You probably didn't. You would have remembered. Griffin Speed Machine. Griffin Speed Machine. For sure.
That is hilarious. Willie said, "Oh, you would have remembered. You would have."
Please believe it. Please believe it.
I remember Columbus East. We played them. I had a nice game against them. Dayton Dunbar. We bumped up against them. Had a tough.
What division were you in?
We were 5A.
That's why. Yeah. We're Division Two.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. All right. Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah. Actually, back-to-back state championships in '87 and '88 in football. Ricky Powers played at Michigan. Yeah. That was our running back. He's actually head coach now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I got you. Yeah, we were played against Princeton and Fairfield, and we didn't fool with Moeller a whole lot, thank goodness.
Mm-hmm.
But we'd ate them up too, though. We would have ate them up too. Did you hear me say we would have ate them up too?
I hear you saying it.
Yeah.
I hear you saying it.
Yeah. So anyway, let me get back to these. Look, let me stop lying and get back to. They don't know about that down here, bro.
Yeah, I got to represent my city, though. I got Akron, the city of Akron. I'm just a kid from Akron. Because I got to tell you a quick story of why I had to do that. We talked about ESPN and my 2-minute drill piece. Well, when I did 2-minute drill, I was living in Columbus at that time. So, you fill out the information. Where are you from? Columbus, Ohio. That's where I live. So that was announced. Columbus, Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, Columbus, Ohio. And I went home after my first championship. It was Christmas time. And I don't even know if he is on Facebook. He may be listening. I don't know. Andre McCray. I saw him in the store with my mother. And he said, man, why didn't you tell them you were from Akron? And I never forgot that. This is well before LeBron, anything like that. I'm like, man. So now every chance I get, that's why. It's not to be flipped, but not to be fun. I have to represent my city. I'm just a kid from Akron.
Yeah, and I really need to do the same because I tell people I'm from Cincinnati, but I'm from Forest Park.
Right.
I'm from Forest. And I got to give them that love. My high school no longer even exists. They're now Winton Woods and have a couple of state championships. So, good for them. But, yeah, I'm a kid who grew up at Forest Park, Ohio.
There it is.
Yeah. That's all right, man. That's all right. All right, let's see what we got. Another interesting game is that Miami-Arizona game. That's going to be very interesting. In the desert, David Grubbs got Miami in that one.
You know what? Man. It's going to be closer than you think. I'm going to go Arizona.
It's going to be close. I really do.
I'm going to go Arizona, but not by a lot. I mean, and Tua's going to play this year anyway. The plan was always to get to Tua after the bye. What happened was when all those games got canceled with COVID, Miami's bye got moved up. Because I think initially their bye was like week 10.
Mm-hmm.
So the plan was always to go with Tua after the bye. And when their bye got moved up, they stuck with the game plan. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know that it's a scenario where let's see what we have because we got a top 5 pick. We may get somebody else in here. I think that top 5 pick is get Tua weapons. So look at a Chase from LSU, a receiver, something along that line. But I think that the plan was always to go with him after the bye.
Do you see a scenario like Todd was talking about where if they're not overly impressed with what they see out of Tua and they have a chance to get either Lawrence or Fields, that they go ahead and pull that trigger?
I don't. Because, I mean, no, I don't. I really don't. I think they're going to give him the time that he needs. I mean, he's a first-year quarterback. I mean, I just don't think they're ready to pull the hook that quick. He played 8 games so far. So by the end of the season, he'll have 10. No, I don't think they're even looking at that. I think again that pick and the subsequent picks are looking to build around him because right now he has Devontae Parker and that's it. Gesicki. But yeah, so I think those picks are to build around him, and then you see what you have. I don't think you can see what he has now when he doesn't have. I mean, the weapons, his offensive line is porous.
Yeah,
not porous.
By the time that comes along, he will have played in 8 games?
About 10.
10?
Yeah.
And if you're not impressed in 10 games, and Justin Fields is right there. He's right there. He's right there.
He's right there.
You leave him there?
If I'm Miami, I do. Yeah.
You don't go best player on the board. You go.
I don't go best player on the board when I have a talent at that position. I mean, it's quarterback. If you are looking at best player on the board at receiver, and you have 3 receivers, then you have 4. But to, especially at this team. You're not a player away. You have holes that you need to fill. So you can't invest in another quarterback a year after investing in a quarterback and leave those other holes unfilled. So, if I'm Miami, no, you got to get him weapons. Jamar Chase or what's another receiver? Chris Olave. Somebody in that line. You gotta do it.
Yeah, got you. Vegas at the Chargers. What's up with the Chargers, man?
They can't hold a lead.
Anthony Lynn's job?
I don't think so.
I hope not.
I don't think so. He has a good rapport with the Spanos family. And his offense is putting in work. I think they like what he's doing with Justin Herbert.
Right.
Off the top of my head, I can't think of the defensive coordinator in LA for the Chargers, but maybe you revisit that side of the ball. But is it? But yeah, no, I don't. I don't think that he's in any hot seat danger or anything of that nature.
I hope you're right. They're experts calling for his job because hadn't gotten it done, but he suffered through as worse of a season with Phillip Rivers as his quarterback as Tampa did with Jameis Winston at their quarterback. If Jameis doesn't throw 30 interceptions, we're definitely talking about Phillip Rivers throwing 20.
Yeah, no question. Insiders on the outside, right?
Yeah.
Insiders on the outside.
So who you got in that one? You got on the road. It's the Chargers are hosting Vegas.
Oh man. I just saw Vegas last week here.
Speaking of Vegas, they got that one as a pick'em.
Yeah. Man, I gotta. It's a pick'em for sure. I'll go Vegas. It's a pick'em. I'll go Vegas.
For some reason, I'm gonna go Chargers at home.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Don't get me wrong. I'm not surprised if they win it.
And then, I don't, no other game really interests me. New England at the Jets. New England's got to win that one. Kansas City and Carolina. Carolina on the road is not the same as Carolina at home. But I got to give the head coach some credit. He's doing a great job with what he has.
Yeah, McCaffrey's back. So McCaffrey's playing. So, but I don't see. I mean, Kansas City is an offensive juggernaut right now. So I think Case at home. I think Mahomes and company puts in work.
Who's our Buckeyes have this weekend?
State University of New Jersey, otherwise known as Rutgers.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah.
Anything I need to worry about there? Nothing. Buckeyes, 38-point favorite.
Graciano's coming in. He was on the staff 3 years, defensive coordinator. He knows the personnel. That being said, Ohio State by 32.
Game of the week in the Big Ten, Michigan at Indiana.
Yeah, it is. Don't sleep on Indiana. Indiana's 2-0 right now.
Indiana wins that game and knocks Michigan out of the top 25. That's what happens.
Without question. I mean, yeah. Tom Allen has them doing well.
Well, I need Illinois to knock off Minnesota, keep them undefeated.
That could very well happen. I mean, Minnesota, people are blasting PJ Fleck, and he's replacing 9 starters on defense.
Right.
In a shortened season. So it is what it is.
And then Michigan State beating Iowa?
I think so. Mel Tucker's, I think he's gotten them. That win over Michigan, they're going to ride that momentum, and I think they beat Iowa.
Last one before we got to go. Nebraska and Northwestern.
All Northwestern. Nebraska, again, they have like 72 freshmen and sophomores, something like that. So they're coming, but this is not the year. This is the year to get them. This is the year to get them because, trust and believe, subsequent years, they're going to do damage.
Other teams still recruit.
Elsewhere but Columbus, but I'm just saying.
Other teams still recruit while Nebraska. We got to get ready to go. Tell everybody where they can find you and follow you, man.
Follow me, Will Gibson 7 on Twitter and Instagram, and Facebook, Willy Gibson with a Y.
Appreciate you as
No doubt.
always. Tell your dog thanks for being on the show. We'll
Oh,
talk
baby,
to you
look.
next time, Willie.
I appreciate you.
All right, brother. All right, we got to get ready to go. Let me get Sybil Wilkes on. Of course, Donnie McClurkin up after that with the Donnie McClurkin Show, best in gospel music, latest in the gospel music industry. As always, let's not be divided. Let's be united. I love you. There's nothing you can do about it. Here's Sybil.
Sybil Wilkes. You need to know today. The U.S. Postal ignored a court order
Bless you, man.
mail processing facilities in more than a dozen states for over 300,000 missing election ballots. U.S. District Court Judge Emmett Sullivan in Washington ordered the sweep after the Postal Service admitted its delivery performance had dropped over the past 5 days. If it is determined that the timely delivery of valid ballots was obstructed by the Postal Service, then hundreds of thousands of voters have been disenfranchised. I'm Sybil Wilkes. Be informed, be empowered.
1140 AM KYOK Conroe and 92.3 FM K222CX Houston.
All right, y'all. I hope y'all enjoy the show. Please do me a favor and have a blessed rest of your day. As always, not this, definitely this. I love you. Nothing you can do about it except wear your mask, wash your hands, sanitize everything around you, be sensitive to everybody around you. And when you see the racism, kill it, man. Please don't get caught up in it. And goodness gracious, whatever you do, man, pray for this nation. Don't be a part of the division. Don't be a part of the foolishness that's going on right now. I cannot believe that good, smart people are buying into some of the stuff that we're hearing and conspiracy theories, man. This country has been electing presidents and elected officials for hundreds of years. Why all of a sudden now? I just, please, please, please be smart, be wise, don't be emotional, and be in prayer, okay? Y'all take care. I'll talk to you soon.